Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be covering one of my favorite tools when it comes to sourcing items to sell on Amazon. And I truly think in the beginning you really only need a handful of tools to get started, this being one of them. This training is going to cover the part of the process where you already have items that you know you can buy to placing the order and how we evaluate those items. And be sure to stick around to the end because I'm going to be covering all of the updates that this tool allows you to do now as well that it did not previously to get the biggest bang for your buck. Let's get into it. All right, guys, well, welcome back to another video. So before I get into the actual training, I do want to say that the Art of Amazon mentorship is actually open now October 1st through October 14th or until all the spots sell out. That's where I take a handful of you guys and I teach you how to do what I do, which is we created a 7-figure online business that generates tens of thousands of dollars of profit per month from the comfort of our own home. And now it's open either 2 weeks or until the spots sell out. And it won't be open again until the beginning of the year, so January. So be sure to hop in on that. I truly believe that this Q4 will be the biggest Q4 that we've seen in online retail. And also I want to say, if you've not checked out my podcast, the Paw Awareness Podcast right here, podcast I started that sheds light on the foster and animal rescue community in North America, something I'm incredibly passionate about. Link to that will be in the description below. All right, so let's get into the training. Okay, I have a pre-vetted list here already. It has already been ran through one of the scanning softwares that I recommend for you to use. We use AMZ Analyzer and Scan Unlimited right now. We use both tools to make sure that we do not miss any items. And this has already been done, so think of it as like a cooking show. It's already been vetted, so that way we can get straight to evaluating each item and making sure the ROI is correct and all the other aspects that the FBA Multitool uses. And I do have videos on how to use Scan Unlimited software. I will post that right here, so if you do want to check that out, feel free to do so. I also have a wholesale playlist as well as an online arbitrage playlist on YouTube for you to check out in the description below. So our goal here is to calculate the ROI or return on investment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to paste the ASIN or the Amazon identifying number into Amazon and actually pull up that exact item. Now what's going to happen here is it's going to pull up how many it sells per month as well as the price at which you can sell it at. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the sheet and see, okay, what can we buy this for? Well, we can buy it for $44, counting prep and whatnot. We have to spend $45 on it. So there's going to be $45 an all-in cost. Now, if we plug in a $45 buy cost, that means that we're making about $10 per unit on what we sell. And it's moving 30 to 35 units per month. So we plug in the $10 profit and we can see that it's moving 30 sales per month. We know that there's only one other FBA seller, so that means that with us being on the listing as well, we're going to be sharing those sales, and that is 15 units per month. And that is 15 units per month we will be moving of this item. And that comes out to be $152 profit, which it may not seem like a lot, but when you do this constantly and you can see this order together is actually an $850 profit order. So you got to think, if you're doing that once a month on just one 4K order, that's about $4,000 profit. The small stuff really adds up. Now, I do want to actually say that this list is from our distribution list that we send out every week in the Art of Amazon mentorship program. So that is one of the value adds is when you do get into the program, we will be sending you lists of stuff to buy. And these are pretty typical margins. So a lot of people ask, are 20% ROIs typical when it comes to buying wholesale? Yes, they are. The better of suppliers you get though, the better your inventory list will be and the pickier you can become. But in the beginning, anything to get your money in, make some money, and also learn in the process is a good way to look at that. There's one other FBA seller. By clicking sales data, you can see that there's Game Source and they have 101 units of this item. The FBMs we're not really looking at. I only want to look at the FBA sellers. Now on this particular item, we are getting a 22% ROI, which is a 14% net margin. So the return on investment means we make 10 bucks on the 45 that we spend. Now, net margin is what you make on the total sale. And I don't really look at that number very often. I do not look at net margin, but it's good to know and become familiar with as you're getting into business. So we're going to go ahead and plug in another product and just paste the ASIN in right here and click on it. And we can see that it's moving about 86 to 100 units per month. So let's go ahead and see what we buy this for. We buy this for $31. And let's go ahead and see what it's selling for. It did pull up $33.85 as the sale price. And I'm telling you, this is wrong. This is why you always need to check this. So we go ahead, we click on sales data, and we can see that this is selling for. Now, when I go ahead and plug in the $53.49 and what it's selling for, it looks like we make $6.87, and our ROI is at 22%. It looks like there are 4 or 5 other sellers on this listing. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and plug in that sale value, and it looks like we are going to capture around 13 sales. And that comes out to be a small profit, but because we're already placing an order, let's go ahead and take it. $90 profit is not bad. Now, this is what I really want to get into, which is the updates that the FBA Multitool has. And there are 2 very specific updates that we use every day in our business now. The first one being is now there were 2 problems as Amazon sellers we faced this last summer. The first one being Amazon has blocked more ranks on main categories. BSRs, and BSRs are bestseller ranks, and they let you determine the velocity of a product and how many it's moving. Well, we were only able to see subcategories, and you cannot gauge a velocity of a product based on the subcategory. I mean, you can, but you risk over or under calculating, usually over calculating sales, which means you buy too many of a product, and then you have a bunch of inventory sitting, and you're out a bunch of money. So now what FBA Multitool does, the first main update I want to talk about is when you see the rank right here, you see a rank on the screen in red. What that is showing us is that's the last rank that category was ranked in. So now the FBA Multitool is showing us, hey guys, this was ranked in grocery and the last known rank it was at was this rank right here. That might be worth us experimenting on. I'm not saying we'll go out and buy, if this is moving hundreds of units a month, I'm not saying we'll buy that many, but if we can squeeze in 10 to 20 units and do a test order on and see, okay, how many of these can we actually move? That would be worth knowing. And it's incredibly valuable. We've already had this happen at least one time this last month where VA came back to us with some subcategory information and we were able to make a buy. So that's the first main update right there, is when you see the rank in red, that is the last known rank of the main category. Now, the second thing I want to talk about, the main update that the FBA Multitool has, which is huge, is the buy box rotation history. Now, the reason why this is so crucial is this last summer, us Amazon sellers, we came across this issue where buy box rotation was not happening. So there was some lagging in the buy box rotation and it was incredibly inconsistent. Usually if you're matching someone at the same price, you will split the sales or close to it, okay? But this was not happening. Some sellers were getting all of the sales. And even though that problem has gone away for the most part over here in the States, it's still happening. We're still seeing some buy box issues. Now what happens is when you scroll down on the FBA Multitool, you can see that there is a buy box rotation history now, and it's showing, okay, buy box time on this particular date, and it's showing who has the buy box. Amazon.com. Okay, out of stock here. And on this particular listing, it looks like Amazon has been rotating out of the buy box or in the buy box for quite a bit. Now, this person right here is out of stock, but we can still use that to see that Amazon is not always at the buy box, which is crucial data. So this is going to be huge when you just see one seller the entire time on a buy box or having the buy box when it's showing the timestamps. That may mean that it's a riskier item and you may not want to get into that, because if the listing is having some issues with buy box rotation, who's to say that that won't happen for you? So this is kind of like a last ditch effort to check to see, okay, who has the buy box at all times now? And we can quickly proof check all of our purchases this way. Now, another cool feature that the FBA Multitool has is it allows you to track products with online arbitrage. And this is more so for the people still buying online arbitrage, meaning from other retailers. We are the retailer now, so we are the Target, we are the Walmart, and we're buying from some of those suppliers. But if you still are buying from retailers, you can now track products via the FBA Multitool, which is cool. So if you see a product that you like, but the price might be a little too high, you can set up these pricing reminders inside of your FBA Multitool. You can plug in your price that you want to get it at, and it will set up these alerts for you. So if it dips down to that profitable price, you can go ahead and buy it. And this is just another way to streamline your business. We always have so many moving pieces when selling on Amazon. It's hard to keep track of everything, whether it be reaching out to suppliers or tracking profitable products. This is just a nice way to make sure that products aren't slipping through the cracks. Now, guys, I will leave a link to the FBA Multitool in the description below. 24-hour free trial. You can give it a test run. It is my favorite sourcing tool. If you have not yet, check out the free Facebook group. The link to that is also in the description below. Your network is your net worth, and it is a great way to link up with a bunch of like-minded entrepreneurs on all stages of their journey. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.